Hello, all, and welcome to Wake Up with Marci. It's time to be inspired, empowered, and learn to live our happiest lives. And we do that through stories of hope, education, and resources available to us. This month, we are learning to break bad cycles, get educated about addiction and recovery, along with self-care. We kick off today with Emmy Award-winning actress Patricia Heaton. She is perhaps best known for her role on the critically acclaimed series, Everybody Loves Raymond. Patricia speaks with us about her decision to give up alcohol and her book, Your Second Act. We then meet Kim Woods, Wake Up's official intuitive business expert. We get a peek at my chart and upcoming dates we need to be paying attention to. Lastly, we meet lifestyle correspondent Vanessa Coppes, CEO and editor-in-chief of Bella Magazine. She shares with us about Fashion Week and the coming Bella Fall Fashion Cover Party hosted by cover star Taryn Manning. Now let's meet our guests. Hi, Patricia. Welcome to Wake Up with Marci.
Hi, Marci. Thanks for having me.
So great to have you. Look at that smile. So I just wanted to, first of all, talk about your 3 years without alcohol.
Yes.
I mean, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's fantastic. And how has that changed your life? How are you feeling today?
I think it's made a huge difference. I grew up in Cleveland, and I think in the Midwest, there's quite a culture of drinking. I'm Irish Catholic, culture of drinking in that group. And then I think our society has just become sort of a little bit alcohol soaked, And, when I worked for a very long time on Raymond and on the Middle. And so, during the week, I would never have alcohol because I had to be at work. And so I never let anything interfere with the quality of my work. So that's been a real lifesaver for me. But I noticed when the kids all were off to college and I didn't have a show, this is around 3 years ago or more, that I didn't have any constraints on me as far as alcohol intake. And so, there's a thing where like you start drinking at lunch, which I never ever would do. And then, just sort of during at night, my husband does not drink, but I would pour myself a glass of wine while I was cooking dinner, and then while I was eating dinner, and then while I was cleaning up, and then while I was watching TV. And like, before you know it, little me, 5'2" me, had drank almost a whole bottle of wine by myself.
Yeah.
So, those were sort of little signs of like, we might want to look at that.
And
then when you get to be older and your kids are out of the house and maybe you've retired or maybe you've gone through a divorce, thankfully that's not me. The things that anchored you and the things that identified you can go away. And so you can either feel those feelings and deal with them, or you can just have drinks during the day and just not feel them
and
for a while.
Mask them. Yeah.
Yes. So, so that could, I could just kind of see that coming. I could see an increase in my intake, and I decided, I think I want to go into this next phase of my life sober. So that's kind of a second act for me. And, I wrote my book, Your Second Act, about people pivoting into new things. And that was part of my pivot. I've been leaning into working with World Vision since 2015 in a more full-time way, and traveling with them, and then into producing also. So, and I really want to be at my best and my brightest all the time, because there's a lot of life to live, even after your kids leave. And when life circumstances change, you have to think of it as an adventure and as an opportunity to grow. And getting alcohol out of the way helps.
Yeah, because it's a big transition. And whenever there's change or transition in life, it's hard to find positive ways to cope. And a lot of times we do go that negative route. drinking being one of them, eating, whatever it may be. And
what prompted you to stop drinking?
Well, my drinking got to a point where it was affecting my life around me.
Right.
And I knew at that point, my final rock bottom is I went out for a job, went to lunch, drank, we had more drinks, and ended up getting a DUI. And the next morning I woke up and was like, I have a problem and I have to make a change. And, you know, I've been coping all my life with alcohol instead of feeling my feelings. So it's been an amazing gift.
Isn't it?
Actually.
Yes.
Yeah. And just like you're talking about in the second act and the stories that you have in here of those that have their second act in life and reinventing themselves. So Patricia, I'd love to hear how you can encourage others to do the same, because there's so much fear involved with that too.
Yeah, there is. And, you know, you can make a change at any time in your life. So you might be in your 20s when this happens and you need to change things. I think the pandemic taught us that nothing is really secure and that you need to be able to pivot and go with the flow. And it's easy to lean into substance abuse of whatever kind in order to not deal with the stress. And I think it's important to acknowledge that stress and find other ways to cope with it that won't stop you from moving forward. And one interesting thing that I've recently discovered is breathing technique. And there's that wonderful guy named Wim Hof, and you can find his breathing technique for free on YouTube. And it's very powerful and it really helps. And, you know, we have the alcohol industry has really targeted women in the last like 5 to 10 years. You know, any person with self-respect years ago would never drink rosé. Like no real connoisseur. Now it's like rosé all day and it's being sold all over the place, right? Right. So that's targeted at women. Skinny vodka, that's targeted at women. You know, and so women in particular don't actually process alcohol as well, and especially as you get older. So I think you need to find those other ways and other, not just physical ways of dealing with stress, but mental ways of engaging your mind in something that excites you and challenges you. And I think, you know, self-care is really great, but I also think you want to put yourself in uncomfortable positions. And for myself, my husband directed a movie which we both produced, and it was shut down during the pandemic, and we had to go back and reshoot it and recast and all kinds of crazy things. Super challenging. Even when we started it before the pandemic, I remember sitting in a hotel room and we couldn't find the main location that we needed. We couldn't find that specific farmhouse that we needed for this movie. And I'm sitting in a hotel room in Oklahoma City thinking, what am I doing here? Like, why are we doing this? We're putting our own money into it. We're not finding what we need. I could be back home, relaxing by the pool. Why am I doing this? But in the end, it was one of the most delightful, challenging, rewarding experiences. We ended up employing 150 people, which is very satisfying to know that you were able to give people jobs for a time. Created a wonderful product that hopefully when it gets sold will bring some joy into a world that really needs joy. And so, you know, I think that for me, leaning into the challenge is a way of expanding yourself. Even if you find failures along the way, failures are just an opportunity to learn and grow.
Yes,
so
100%.
And I talk about that in my book. You just need to embrace whatever is coming. I just want to feel my feelings, as you said, you know, and
I feel like life takes you in a direction that you really are meant to go in.
Yes.
And like you're talking about leaning into that. And we as women so often, we're caregivers, we're giving to everyone else. And it's very hard for us to recognize, what do we want? What are our passions? What makes us feel good and drives us?
Yes.
and allowing ourselves to do that, right? And also you were talking about how the alcohol industry is targeting us. Well, we also don't really take care of ourselves because we, the husband or someone else, we can send them out to get help, but it's very hard for us to allow ourselves to do that. But going back to leaning into your passion, to you, what drives you, giving yourself the green light to do it. Because I have found being completely fulfilled in myself allows me to be the best person for everyone else around me.
Yes. And I think we're at a time, the most of our world is sort of aimed at the ages between 20 and people up to like 50, so 20s to 40s. And you can start feeling marginalized as you move into your 50s and 60s, both men and women. But I have found that the beauty of allowing yourself to embrace this is you don't care so much about what other people think.
Yeah.
You're more aware of your mortality, so you realize how precious time is, and you want to make the most of those, the opportunity we have left. And, God willing, we all have 30 some good years left. And you can do a lot in that time, especially with the life experience that we all have had of working and raising families and, being in relationships and everything we've learned from all those areas. And so I would hope that we would embrace that freedom. There's so much freedom as you get older because you let go of so many things you thought were important before. And that opens up space for you to contribute to a world that really needs your contributions.
And talking about contributions, let's talk about World Vision.
World Vision is such a wonderful organization. They're still in Afghanistan helping people in the rural areas who really need help. It's a very poor country, aside from all the political turmoil and violence. It's a poor country who is struggling with food and with COVID. And I'm so proud to be a part of World Vision. It's the largest charity in the world, largest provider of clean water. And 86 cents of every dollar that you give to World Vision goes directly to programs. And those programs are in those areas that they work with for 12 to 15 years until they become sustainable by the community. So your $1 goes a very long way to making permanent positive change in about 100 countries around the world, with a focus especially on clean water and mothers and children and education. So it's a wonderful organization. I've been so thrilled that I've been able to represent it because, for such a large organization, nobody in Hollywood had heard of it. Like when I would talk to people on my show, cast and crew, no one had heard of it. And that's when I went to World Vision and said, I think you need me. I mean, I'm not, trying to toot my own horn, but this center of communication and entertainment where I work has never heard of you. And maybe we can change that. And we've been able to do that. And people have really gotten on board. I've gotten a lot of wonderful publicity.
That's great.
Being able to raise money.
And you continue, and just what that does for you to be able to give back. And giving back is such a huge gift for yourself. So Patricia, I am so grateful to have you on the show, and thank you for all of your wisdom. And listen, I love your book, really, really helping a lot of people. So thank you so very much, Patricia.
Well, thanks, Marci. I really appreciate you having me on, and you're so lovely. And I'm so excited for your sobriety, and encourages me to keep going in mine. And it's wonderful.
It is wonderful. Thank you again. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye, Patricia.
You too. Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. Next up, we meet Kim Woods, Wake Up's official intuitive business expert. Hello, Kim. So excited to have you on Wake Up with Marci.
It is so great to be here, Marci. I just love being here with you.
So the official intuitive business expert, I'm telling you, you're going to help so many people. This is awesome.
I know. I'm so excited. I'm so thrilled to be here. Thank you for having me.
So let's talk about intuition. And you say that we all have it. We just have to tap into it. So tell us what you mean by that.
Absolutely. Every single person is intuitive, bar none. It's just we haven't practiced and we feed our mind so much. Our mind and our intuition want to play together, but we haven't given our intuition a chance. So when we do, we have a beautiful dance between the mind and the intuition that just works to help you make better decisions, to create more certainty, to feel calmer. And in these times right now, who wouldn't want to have a little bit more certainty and calm?
I understand that.
Yes. Yes.
So one of the things that you do, and you're doing for me, which I'm so excited about, is charts. And we're going to take a peek at my chart and how that helps us in business, love, and money, and like you're talking about making decisions. So please share with me. I'm so excited.
I know, you're so brave, Marci. It's so wonderful. And so, yes, I took a peek at your stars. And from a business perspective, I loved the fact that you're not only a trailblazer, but you're an awakener. And then I thought about it for a minute and I thought, think of the name of your show. It's Wake Up with Marci. How perfect is that?
Yeah, I
Right?
love that.
I know.
And all good in love and money, I hope.
Yeah, all good in love and money. So about love, you love to be loved with a sense, you appreciate a sense of humor. You really love intellect. You must be with intellectual people. And you love your sense of freedom and independence. That's really important to you. So
it is. And that's right on.
Yeah.
There's
so
no doubt about that.
Yay. And then from a money perspective, now here's what I love is you like money and money likes you. And we all could benefit from that, right? Like we, debunk the myth that, money is somehow not good or somehow bad. When you like money, money likes you. And you have the ability to create wealth, which is lovely to see on someone's chart. And it's all about your value. It's about you being authentic and you being you.
And also, that is a lot like me. And when I was little, that's what I put out there. That's what I wanted. And I'm big on what you put out there is what you get in return.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And think about that. When we use our intuition and we're creating more certainty and calm, think about what we're putting out into the universe. We're putting out things that are, more clear, they're more certain, they're more, settled. And so it's not as chaotic. So I agree with you.
So I know that one of the things that you are is a big fan of pulling oracle cards and what exactly that means for us. So can you give us just a brief description of what that is and what that means, and then pull the card?
Absolutely. We're in our minds too much, and our minds are here to protect us. So our minds are not open to growth or something new. And think about what a loss that would be to us if we weren't growing and we weren't inviting new opportunities. So when we pull oracle cards, which we have a deck here that they're intuition cards, you can get them at getmyintuitioncards.com. And what they do is they get you out of your mind just for a brief moment. So we can pull them for daily inspiration. So if you order the cards, we have little tutorials that teach you how to pull a card for daily inspiration, which I'll show you one in a moment. And you can they can help make you decisions for you. And they can also give you guidance on larger things in life. So they're very impactful. We've been using them for years, and they help get you out of your mind, and it gives your intuition an ability to come into your life. So when you look at this card, it's a little bit hard to see. We're going to put a video, like a little stamp in there, but it's an impact card. You can see the woman with her arms up. And think about this during your day. If you're doing the laundry, or you're walking the dog, or you're emptying the dishwasher, allow your mind to ponder the word impact. Think about what impact you want to make in your life. And it could be with your family, it could be with yourself, or it could be in a larger, like for you, on a larger stage. And when you give your mind that moment of ponderance, that's when you can open yourself up more, and your mind will accept it. So the cards actually help you lean into things and be open. I love how you said that, to situations that you might not normally be open to. So it's super helpful.
I love that. So that's our card, impact for the day.
Impact, right? Isn't that beautiful?
Okay. Yeah, I absolutely love that. And I love what you're doing, Kim. So how you're going to be coming on once a month and
Yes.
you're going to be giving us guidance as to spirituality and intuition and making big decisions on certain days, how we do it, what it means. And
Yes.
this all will help us through business also.
Yes.
So I know that you help in a lot of areas, but business is one of them, and you are a business expert. So, with us pivoting and a lot of things happening, we could really use your help and support. So I'm so excited to have you on once a month.
This is beautiful. Thank you so much for having me. We can help so many people, Marci.
So Kim, tell us where we can find you.
Okay, it's Kim Woods channel on Insta and Facebook. It's kimwoods.com for my website. And if you want to get your Oracle deck, it's getmyintuitioncards.com.
Well, fantastic again. So wonderful to have you on. Thank you for today. Thank you for my chart reading. I'm feeling pretty darn good about that. And we'll see you next month.
Thanks so much, Marci. See you next month.
We next meet lifestyle correspondent Vanessa Coppes, CEO and editor-in-chief of Bella Magazine. We hear all about New York Fashion Week. Hello, Vanessa. Welcome back to Wake Up with Marci.
Hi, Marci. How are you? Thanks for having me back.
Love having you on. And we are going to talk about fall fashions, which
Yes.
I love, and your fall fashion party, but I want to hear how Fashion Week went.
I have to say this year felt very different. And of course, because of COVID, I think we all felt that awkward feeling of, can we get in this way? Are we what? Are we wearing a mask? Are we not doing this? And we tried to coordinate our outfits according to the mask that we were wearing. But I have to tell you, I was actually surprised at how strict a lot of the venues were, especially towards the end of the week on, not letting unvaccinated people attend the event. So you felt a little safer in that regards. I do have to say there was a shift in the type of shows. We didn't see a lot of runway shows, but a lot of presentations. So it was more of like a cocktail networking event, which I happened to love, because then you have the opportunity to network with the designer. If there's someone in the room that you've been wanting to connect with, which I had the incredible and pleasant surprise of Adam, who happens to be Oprah's stylist, was at one of the events, and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah,
I'm such a
like
fan.
that.
So I had a total fangirl moment in that moment, and was able to, take a picture with him and just speak to him, which doesn't typically happen or hasn't happened, in years past. But it was definitely a lot of fun. I love people watching people get dressed up and express themselves and in different ways. So it was definitely one for the books.
And just real quick, how were the trends?
Yeah. The trends, a lot of metallics. There's a lot of sequins. Gold is a very popular color. A lot of people, I saw a lot of gold being worn, and a lot of bright colors, believe it or not. So fall fashion is no longer your blacks, grays, and blues. Go for the pink, go for white. People think you can't wear white after Labor Day. Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Go for it. Embrace it.
I like that. And I think colors make you feel good.
So
now this brings me to your fashion cover party, which is at the end of the month. Super excited about that. So tell us about that.
So Taryn Manning, who is our fashion cover star, of course, if you can't relate to her by her name, you know her as Pennsatucky from Orange is the New Black. You cannot forget her character. She was one of the most popular characters from the show. She'll be joining us that evening. And it's an incredible couture fashion show with designer Randy Raum, who's going to be dressing some of the models in her latest non-release couture dresses and gowns. And some of the Bella team is also going to be walking all for an incredible cause, which is raising funds for the Down Syndrome Association in the Dominican Republic. We talked about that in a previous show, and it's going to be a fun night. And I know you will be there joining us on the red carpet. It's going to be so much fun.
I'm excited.
who doesn't love a good fashion show? So you're going to get, if you didn't make it to Fashion Week, you get a little glimpse of it at our event at the end of the month. So it's going to be a lot.
So talk to us about how we can get tickets and get involved.
Yes, there are only 20 tickets available. I have to say there's only 8 as of this morning. So when you do watch this, we're probably going to be sold out. The point is supporting the Down Syndrome Association in the Dominican Republic, bringing more awareness, inclusivity, as we spoke about Chelsea Warner, who is our special cover star for the month of October. It's, showing the world what is possible for anyone who decides to pursue a career in fashion, right? And I think that we are all made from the same cloth, which is humanity. And, fashion is so diverse that anyone can fit into any mold that they choose to. So I'm excited for that.
I love that. Now let's talk about celebrating National Hispanic Heritage Month right now. And yes.
Well, I happen to fit the bill.
You fit the bill, you gorgeous woman, you. And I also want to talk about you have some big news. So tell us about it.
So we relaunched Bella Latina magazine. We decided to relaunch it digitally for now. The intention was to go full-blown forward with it in print. But obviously due to COVID, we were not able to accomplish that in the past year. But in 2022, the goal is to have a fiesta where we celebrate the actual print version of Bella Latina. It is in Spanish. It's just bringing more of the incredible content that you can already find at Bella to the Spanish speaking, the Spanish community, the Spanish speaking community, because it's there. Not only are we all deserving of that, but we have so much great, fabulous content that we would just like to continue to share that with the community. And it's exciting to be in a position to be able to do that and celebrate, my roots, where I come from, and all of that.
Absolutely, Vanessa. Well, thank you so much for coming on Wake Up Again and sharing such fun information, and also all of the wonderful things that you're doing out there. So can't wait for that fashion show. And I know. See you soon.
Thank you so much. Always, Marci.
Thank you all so much for tuning in to Wake Up with Marci. What an incredible show. It was great to have Patricia Heaton on and just having her share the raw truth about getting sober and how that's changed her life. And also to have Kim Woods on as our new contributor. Cannot wait to have her on every month. And of course, always with Vanessa Coppes. So I hope you guys have an incredible week. But just remember that you can go to my website, wakeupwithmarci.com, sign up for my email list and get any information that you want. Follow me on social media. We have a lot of fun there. And I'm also a podcast. So if you don't have time to watch, you can also listen on any of the podcast platforms. All right, guys, remember to be kind to yourself and kind to others. And I can't wait to see you next weekend. Have a great week.
Wake Up with Marci is sponsored by True Serenity Tea, which is a monthly subscription box that delivers award-winning loose-leaf teas from around the globe to your doorsteps. Check out TrueSerenityTea.com to order your subscription box.